This is the Eagle Network. Today we'll be discussing active reading, how to read a textbook and grab as much information as you can. Active reading, how to read a book. Get active. Reader, become a great reader. Main ideas in the book. Pivotal words. In conclusion. Would you like to know the secret of knowing this entire book? Me too. This is not a lesson on how to memorize a book, because you don't need to know how to see every word in a book, but to understand the concepts in the book and discover important ideas, so that during the class and during the test, you'll be able to understand what the teacher is asking from you and what you need to know to move forward in your education. Now, let's begin. First of all, I cannot stress how important it is to reread a book. Unless you have a perfect memory, or if you are a computer, you will not be able to read a book and remember every detail. You should especially not expect to understand the book the night before the essay is due, since you have learned material throughout the semester. College doesn't work like that. You have to take time learning everything the teacher is trying to communicate. Be active in your reading. Active. A. Ask questions. C. Connect. T. Track down information. I. Determine what is important. V. Visualize the information. And E. Eureka! Put together all of the information. Now, the best way to study a textbook is to preview it first. Scan the chapter, noting italicized and boldface type, and introductory and concluding sentences. Look for the following. Look in the back of the book. Look at the title of the book. Read your syllabus and think about the table of contents to know the organization of the book and identify what's important. Glance over the preface or foreword. Look at the back of the book. Glance at the index, glossary, and other material. See how a typical chapter is constructed. Are there summaries and questions? Now, write in your book. Look at the vocabulary, condensations of ideas, personal reactions. Basically, interact with the book the way you'd interact with a person. Write out what appears to be key questions covered in the chapter and answer them orally based on what you already know about the subject. You need to remember the concepts better if you already have in place a way by which to compare new information. Reader. Read, evaluate, analyze, determine, essay, revise. These are the essentials for writing a paper. Read. Read the chapter carefully and critically. Either underline and make notes in the text, or jot down an outline of the key ideas in your textbook, or both. Keep in mind the most important key points of the text. Always review your notes so you know exactly what to say and exactly what the teacher has said. Evaluate. Evaluate what you are reading. You are going to have to provide evidence, make opinions, and make comments, so be sure to know what you want to say. Analyze. Now that you have read and examined the right criteria for your paper, you must be able to analyze instead of summarize the material. This is critical. You cannot simply say the temperatures are increasing around the planet. You have to be able to say why you think this is so. You cannot just summarize the story of Malcolm X's interest in literacy. You have to analyze why this is a critical element in his literary achievements. Determine. Now that you have to determine what is essential to your paper. Instead of writing 30 pages about the life of a person in a month, you have to determine which days or even minutes are the most critical in your analysis of what is important in that time period. You cannot just recite information. You have to critique and say what is most important for your essay. Essay. Write your essay. Take your data and your analysis and apply what you have determined to be your focus of your essay and write it out. You've been guided in what makes important elements of an essay. Focus on your main idea and back it up with relevant information. You can do it. Revise, revise, revise your essay. No, you will not be able to write a perfect essay on the first try. You will not be able to find anyone who will be able to do this, or if you do, that person is not your friend. Valuable information can be gleaned from getting your work reviewed by peers. For instance, you might be able to write a story about a popular TV show, so you would find a fan of the show and have him or her go over your findings, discover what a true element of the show feels like from a different point of view. You might end up with a totally different incarnation of your paper by a simple look-through, which is extremely valuable to any writer. Now, here are some steps to follow in skimming for the main ideas. Number 1. Read the title of the chapter or section carefully. Causes, effects, results are signals, as well as verses and pros and cons. Number 2. Look carefully at the headings and other organizational cues. These are the main ideas. A. Major headings and subheadings. B. Italicized words and phrases. C. List of points set off by numbers or paragraphs. D. Redundancy or repetition. Number 3. No words are as helpful while reading as the prepositions and conjunctions that guide your mind along the pathways of the author's ideas. A word like furthermore says keep going. However says easy. Master these words and phrases, and you will almost immediately become a better reader, for they will whisper directions in your ear. Here are some other words to keep in mind. Pivotal words. In conclusion, keep in mind that you have to be an active reader in order to fully grasp the concepts of what you're reading, in order to discover the subjects your teacher wants to teach you. Now that you're in college, it is important to study more effectively so that you can be more able to use what you have learned in the future. This is the Eagle Network. Thank you for watching.